Hi, I'm Oğuzhan Günal, and today I'm going to talk about the sole plate part of clothes iron machine. I'm going to talk about its description, its mainly functions, the manufacturing processes that it's going through, and also commonly used types of sole plates based on the material selection. So here I start. Sole plate is a triangular shaped, thick and flat surface that stands at the underneath of clothes iron machine. It is an important part of clothes iron because it is the part that touches at the clothes uh, during the ironing process. It has many functions, but its main function is to distribute the heat generated by the heating element evenly across the surface. But this function singularly doesn't make the sole plates efficient and well designed. So in order to say that a sole plate is effective and well designed, the sole plate has to efficiently serve several main functions. Um, First of them is heat distribution. As I said earlier, uh, sole plates are designed to distribute the heat generated evenly across surface to prevent the damage that the heat can make by focusing on a small area. Uh, the second one is smooth gliding. The sole plates must be smooth to reduce the friction and so make the ironing process easier and more efficient. The third one is steam dispersion. Um, the sole plate typically features steam holes and vents that allow the release of steam onto the fabric. Um, the steam helps to relax the fibers, making it easier to remove the wrinkles and achieve a crisp look. Fourth one is the durability and the protection. The sole plates acts as a protective barrier between the heating element inside the iron and the fabric. It prevents the direct contact between the hot components and the clothes, so reducing the risk of damage and also scorching. Uh, Fifth one is the stain resistance. Uh, some sole plates are coated with materials like Teflon or ceramic, which provide a non-stick surface, and it helps to prevent the sole plates from sticking to fabrics or getting stained by the residues, such as a scratch or fusible interacting, making the ironing process smoother and minimizes the potential uh, damage to both iron and the fabrics. Um, the first manufacturing process that the sole plate is been through is material selection. The sole plates are commonly made from metals like aluminum, stainless steel, or coated materials such as ceramic or Teflon. The choice of material depends on the factors like heat, conductivity, durability, and non-stick properties. And the second manufacturing process is casting. The material selected, the metal selected, used to make the sole plate is being melted and then poured into a mold which has the shape of a sole plate. And after this process, the metal is being cooled and also solidified. After the casting process, sole plates is going through the milling process. The rough casting or forged sole plate is machined using milling machines to remove excess material and to refine the shape and achieve the desired dimensions. After the milling, it's going through the drilling process. The holes for steam vents or other design features are drilled into the sole plates using the precision drilling machines. And after drilling, it's going through coating. Material at the coating process, materials such as polytetrafluoroethane, like Teflon, anodized aluminum coating, silicone coating, enameled iron coating can be used for the coating process. The coating is applied through spraying, dipping, or electroplating methods, mostly electroplating methods, creating a protective layer that prevents the fabrics from sticking to the sole plate. And as I said, it's commonly going through the electroplating process. The sole plates may undergo the electroplating process to enhance its appearance, durability, and corrosion resistance. Nickel or chrome plating is commonly applied to the sole plate surface. And finally, the quality control is being made. Sole plates are inspected to ensure that they meet the required dimensions and specifications. The surface is examined for any defects, scratches, or imperfections, ensuring a smooth and flawless finish. And finally, I'm going to talk about the types of sole plates. There are various sole plate types for clothes iron, which primarily vary based on the materials used in their manufacturing. These types include ceramic, stainless steel, titanium, non-stick steam iron, and cast iron models. The most widespread type is the stainless steel sole plate, which is readily accessible in the market nowadays. We examine the different sole plate types, comparing their efficiency and cost effectiveness. for the use in manufacturing of pressing irons. Ceramic plates refer to the sole plates made of aluminum or plastic that are coated with ceramic material. These sole plates consist of a metal plate with a layer of ceramic materials applied onto it. And the features of the ceramic sole plate that first, it has a good heat conducting capability. It distributes the heat evenly, prevents and eliminates the statics, prevents clothes from sticking onto the surface at higher temperatures. Stainless steel, sole plate of a stainless steel iron is composed of a stainless steel plate. Stainless steel is an alloy of steel that contains a minimum of 10.5% chromium and steel. It is commonly referred as inox, which stands for inoxidable steel. Each type of sole plate exhibits in the specific characteristic of its parent material. Features of stainless steel sole plates are that it conducts the heat very well, helps in making cheap clothes irons, evenly distribute the heat while ironing clothes, possesses a clean surface that's easy to maintain. They are the commonest type of sole plates used nowadays. They are corrosion resistant, therefore do not rust and stain the clothes. And the non-stick sole plate irons are future sole plates that are coated with non-stick materials, designed to reduce the friction and prevent clothes from sticking during ironing. Sole plate itself can be made of various materials, but when it's coated with a non-stick substance, it results in a non-stick sole plate. Commonly coating materials include uh, polytetrafluoran, polytetrafluorethane, such as Teflon, as well as anodized aluminum, silicon, enameled irons, and other similar coatings. The features of non-stick sole plate iron is firstly does not cause the stain to your clothes while ironing, evenly distributes the heat, and they are very durable. And as said in its name, it has a non-sticking feature. So the iron surface never sticks into clothes and therefore never damages the clothes or the iron itself. And that's the final of me. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's it.
Hello everyone. For our group project, my topic is assembly. I will talk about assembly in two main topics, assembly line and subassembly. Um, for the beginning, let's look at what's assembly. After the completion of the manufacturing process, all of the constituent parts and automated line is utilized for the assembling of iron. The designing of this particular production system uh, is called an assembly line according to manufacturing management. The construction of the iron entailed the assembly of consecutive plastic elements, and for the mechanism of iron, it comprises smaller components, and these components are within layers. And also, the components comprise are iron plate, metal cover, insulating plastic material, metal plastic section, bottom water reservoir, uh, top water reservoir, handle, portion of the handle. These are the parts for components. And then for the process, assembly line executes a number of essential steps. And we will just focus on these steps, by the way. The initial component in the assembly line is recognized as a sole plate. And the thermostat may be affixed to the plate through two possible methods. These methods are manual fastening and automated addition. Then the placement of the water tank is executed with the sole plate thermostat, and this period is happen by subassembly, and we will talk about what is subassembly later. And also, the component is firmly affixed onto a mechanized assembly line. And then the handle and body are firmly affixed to the sole plate, thermostat, and water tank through the utilization of screws. Um, and according to the situation, this procedural operation may be occurred in mechanical way, and also it seems that it's the manual action. It may be. The final component to be incorporated is the electric cord. For this process, um, the method can be mechanized, or as we said before, as it is like the other process of assembly, it can be manual. Subsequent to an automated testing procedure, the iron products undergo a manual evaluation process, and then the finished irons are packaged in separate bags, um, and it can be done manually again. In certain enterprises, this continues an automated procedure. It can be taught like it is automated procedure. And at the end, for assembly, the individual packages are positioned within shipping containers or master packs in preparation for dissemination to storage facilities, and all these periods are totally called assembly. Then here we are. We will talk about assembly line as the whole process. Okay. We will talk about its good ways, good sides, and the steps can be named according to what people do in these stages. So let's look at what is assembly line and what it is look like in the process. The most economically affordable model was the purchasing iron as the most economical option. Its competitors in the commodity market, and also it was engineered to achieve a substantially low manufacturing cost. Every element of its production was engineered to be sure that cost effectiveness for manufacturing and assembly processes. Also, for the majority of components, um, the majority of components are the topic to injection molding without any subsequent alterations post manufacture. The sealed chambers are notably handcrafted. The iron is equipped with fluid reservoirs that are effectively sealed, and the water reservoir and steam reservoir parts are done. Then both are fabricated utilizing a base plate featuring a cylinder track. In this period, the track in question is replete with an adhesive comprising a blend of epoxy for the water reservoir and silicone for the stream reservoir. In this process, in the context, when we think about tracks, it's possible to construct a route that minimizes the likelihood of spillage. So, it requires minimal cleanup efforts actually. You don't need to make huge efforts to do that in that case. Upon being filled, the upper component is subsequently pressed into place, establishing a sealed connection. And furthermore, at the end, the iron is engineered with the multiple layers, and these layers are assembled sequentially, and at the end, for the result, code becomes in the real becomes real actually, and then the process is resulting in reduced costs. So assembly line is done in that way. So it's time to talk about subassembly a little bit. Okay. For subassembly, we can see a thermostat assembly in the slide. But what is subassembly? What's the difference between assembly and subassembly? Let's look at it. Whenever feasible, the iron's design employed sub-assemblies as a means of mitigating expenditures. The individual in question utilizes pre-assembled connection tubes and seals. The prefabrication of seals is a ubiquitous practice, extending beyond systems specifically designed for cleaning. The mechanical heat control unit and for this part, the unit is the the material that's fabricated elsewhere and subsequently integrated as a singular entity, and then governs the entire system. The mechanized component that regulates the movement of steam also constitutes an independent and previously planned and fabricated mechanism. So as we can see, for subassembly part, we see some procedures in mechanical ways. Maybe it can take less time than assembly line because uh, it's a little part when we compare them. So we saw that what subassembly means. Then here we go. We can talk about our last topic, control, in manufacturing engineering, and it also refers some information about assembly. That's why I wanted to talk about these topics. Control is in two types. The first one is electronic control and quality control. So for the process, we will focus on them together in the whole concept. So let's look at them. The utilization of electronic control systems has become prevalent in numerous applications. These systems are responsible for regulating and managing diverse electrical and mechanical processes, and it's acceptable for various industries and domains. The usage of electronic control has simplified the operation of complex machinery, and it also provides efficiency and improves safety measures. Its widespread implementation has resulted in important advancements in technology, and it has revolutionized the way which is for devices and systems, their operation systems, to prevent overload in the system. It's advised to refrain from operating additional high level applications on the same system. So it was a way to maybe make it more efficient. And then cores with lower amperage ratings are susceptible to overheating. It's imperative to exercise caution while arranging the cord. And then the process of maintaining and ensuring the quality of the products and also services is known as quality control. As we can understand, we finished the electronic control. So here it's time to talk about a little bit for quality control. So here we are. It involves many activities such as inspection, testing, and verification of certain parameters, and it's aimed to identify and resolve any issues that may affect the product and service performance. Quality control is a critical aspect of any business operation because it helps in maintaining customer satisfaction, enhancing the company's reputation, and improving the overall efficiency of the whole organization. It's a continuous process, by the way, and it requires regular monitoring, controlling, and also um, it's up to the quality standards of customers and their expectations. Um, Prior to commencing the inception of the production process, quality control protocol is applied, whereby all the constituent raw materials are subjected. During the production of every subassembly in the iron, an assessment is conducted to verify the accuracy, the correctness of its operational capabilities. So, for these control steps, quality control is applied to iron, clot iron, which we focused on throughout our project. By the way, during the manufacturing procedure, a particular iron is extracted from the production line and subsequently disassembled by an autonomous department for the purpose of identifying potential defects. For any errors, when we focus on them, when we recognize them, the errors which are observed are likely to block a comprehensive evaluation of the entire inventory of the cloths iron. And also, upon completion of product assembly, an evaluation of the electrical functionality and water integrity of the iron is conducted by worker, a worker who knows his job, and actually assembly line, and then the tests, the control, electronic control, and quality control are the steps which describes the whole stages for producing a new product, such as iron, and mainly for this project, we focused on cloth iron, and for manufacturing steps, we try to find out what's the whole process for manufacturing, and also what's the main part and other parts of the iron, what's the main metal of iron, and as a process, we try to talk about and write about the manufacturing process of iron, and we finished our project like this. Thank you for your interest. Wish you will like it.